G'day, wonderful listeners. This is Trev's Talk, episode 24, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I spoke on a difference between same-sex couples committing themselves to life together and a man and a woman marrying to raise a family. I was feeling that Our Lady, Mary, the Mother of Jesus, could be wanting me to speak out because the beauty and meaningfulness of traditional marriage was being eroded. I asked myself, is the world a better place if the traditional family's position in our society is eroded or downgraded? It seems to me that there is nothing more important to our world than passing on the best life possible to the next generation. We are social creatures that desire to live in community, but to do so, we must have regulations and rules, or we have chaos. Having the traditional family as the core of our society in each generation and passing the best life possible on from generation to generation will give us a better world. Any alternative that comes along to divert us from that will give us a lesser world. I do not say there must only be a traditional marriage system, but I do say it must be the core system. Other alternatives must take a lesser position of importance. I am not saying there cannot be love in alternatives to a traditional marriage. I am sure there can be, but physical attraction can come along and confuse people. Unless you are very careful, you can confuse which sort of love you are feeling. My Bible does not differentiate which form of love it talks about in the times it uses the word love, but there are 3 types of love. Here is a list of the 3 classical Greek types of love and how they differ. 1. Agape love, which is selfless, unconditional love, often associated with altruistic care for others without expectation of return. And 2. Philia love, which is deep friendship or affectionate regard between equals, characterized by loyalty, shared values, and mutual respect. And 3, eros love, which is passionate or romantic love, typically marked by desire and physical attraction. A good traditional marriage to last needs all 3 types of love, and couples contemplating marriage should be counselled on it. 1, what sorts of love they are experiencing, and 2, be advised that they will need all 3 if they want their marriage to last. A person must only look to Hollywood to see how marriages with only eros love or physical attraction love quickly fail and make life difficult for any children involved. Marriages badly formed do not lead to a better world. Because I believe God loves all of us equally, I must believe he loves his children in the LGBTQIA+ group, and so, I believe, a same-sex couple committing to a lifetime union should also be counselled as to whether they are experiencing all 3 types of love or not. The church seems to be having trouble working out how to handle same-sex lifetime unions. The Bible in Matthew chapter 16 verses 18 to 19, where Jesus is talking to the disciples, says, "And now I say to you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and never will the powers of death overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and what you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and what you unbind on earth shall be unbound in heaven. End of Bible quote. Here, Jesus was talking to Peter, the equivalent of the Pope in our present time. And another time in the Bible, Jesus was talking to the disciples in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, which says, I say to you, whatever you bind on earth, heaven will keep bound, and whatever you unbind on earth, heaven will keep unbound. End of Bible quote. In these modern times, this quote would be called a discretionary clause. The church community is being given the power of discretion regarding the rules. My AI assistant says in the context of first century Jewish legal terminology, to bind and to loosen meant to prohibit or permit, essentially interpreting and applying divine law. So, these Bible verses are often seen as addressing disciplinary authority, doctrinal teaching, or community governance. I believe these Bible quotations clearly give authority and discretion to the Pope and church community leaders to prohibit or permit church rules and laws. The way the population changes and grows over the centuries make it essential to have discretion to alter rules from time to time. Think, for instance, of the need to cap the population of the world at some point so the earth does not get overrun with people who could become toxic to it. So the question of contraception and overpopulation need to be addressed as well. The Bible does not say much on contraception. The only place I see is Genesis chapter 38 verse 9, which says, But Onan knew the child would not be his, so whenever he slept with his brother's widow, he spilled the semen on the ground, lest he give an heir to his brother. End of Bible quote. Current contraception rules can be changed and allow a better world with no need for abortion. Allowed contraception is far better than millions of abortions. Let us set out to eliminate abortions. Well, wonderful listeners, hopefully you can see why I need lots of followers to get changes made that will give us a better world. My voice is not enough. I need many voices to back me, to get better government policies that do not leave some behind, or to protect whistleblowers so they can get bad situations improved, or to make religious rules more fitting to modern times, or to get other helpful changes. My voice must be powerful. I need subscribers. Misinformation or lies are rampant in society, and we must be careful in who or what we consider trustworthy enough to consider their reporting. I have a few sources I consider to be truth tellers. For news, I go to The Guardian. The urgent threats facing the free press today would have been unimaginable for most of The Guardian's 204-year history. With big tech, billionaires and authoritarians seizing more control of the world's news and information, we need The Guardian's independent journalism. Their info can be viewed free online. The Australia Institute carries out research on a broad range of economic, social and environmental issues and reports on them. I find their reports get to the truth of the issues, making it possible for me to consider those issues in a balanced way. With them, I do not see lies and misinformation. Trying to get the truth from government regardless of which party is in control is also difficult. I find researching the website of David Pocock at davidpocock.com.au to be helpful. His views and fights for the ordinary citizen can be researched, giving a clearer understanding of the implications of legislation being considered by Parliament. Also, checking out the website australiavoice.com.au brings you to Fatima payments policies listed for all to see, and they are policies that would largely make a better world, more helpful to everyone, not just some. Fatima, who I have had GBs or goosebumps over, has integrity. She stood up for her beliefs, which are helpful to the wider electorate, when leaving the Labor Party because she could not agree with the party line. I am not sure I agree with Fatima in everything, but I do greatly admire her integrity. Well, wonderful listeners, I've come to the end of this episode and ask again for your help to spread my podcasts so I can gather many listeners and make changes that will give us a better world for all, not just some. This is Trev, tuning out, but looking forward to your company again next week.